when you have this deep rest and your body's rested and renewed, that's when you really get to have those like astral projections, those dreams with messages. You can really hear your guides. These are seriously game changer for your sleep routine. I'm like, I can just like, I want to keep going, like you're just stuck in this dopamine loop, like you're this scrambled egg brain. We'll probably be trying to have a baby, and so I am just soaking up every bit of sleep, every bit of getting to put all this on. I just wanted to make this video because we all know sleep is huge, and like, oh my gosh, we of course have Brian Johnson giving us all the studies, all the data, way more information, such as, you know, give yourself like at least, he says like 5 hours, maybe it's like 3. I would do at least 3 to 5 hours before you go to bed to stop eating. So if you're in bed at 10, stop eating by 5. This, I don't know if Brian Johnson talks about this, but in Ayurveda, they talk about like from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. when there's like a lot of restoration going on in your body. So if you're not asleep by 10, then you just miss out on whatever organ is getting like rejuvenated at that time. So it's really, really optimal that if you can be asleep at least from, you know, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., that's like the peak of restoration for your body and your organs. So, you know, going to bed early, not having meals before bed, consistent routines as far as when you go to bed, when you wake up. And when I was going to bed last night, I realized that I have like a product that almost goes with every one of the 5 senses. So like sight, touch, taste, smell, hear, whatever. And I just realized like I think I have a product covering every one of these. So the first thing I use, this is from the Skinny Confidential. It actually comes in this really cute little case. These are their mouth tapes, and other mouth tapes I've used, like people say use medical tape. There was another brand I used. It didn't have the little slit, but also it was like the tape or the glue or whatever they used on the tape was just too much. Like when I took it off, I had like this residue, which I have on this too, and I'll talk about that in a second. And what I like about this is like when I peel this off in the morning, I don't have any residue. It's really nice. So whatever glue they use is just amazing, and it's just kind of cute. But I'm a major mouth breather, and like my nose is very clogged. Not clogged, my whatever, like we'll get into that, but I really rely on my mouth. So I really am enjoying getting this product here. The next sense is so that was the mouth, tasting, but smelling, the nose. So there's a lot of different kinds, like of this Breathe Right brand, which is what I'm wearing now. I didn't want to take it off because I was doing some yoga and stretching, and I'm actually gonna start wearing these to Pilates because I realized while I'm working out, I'll try to get deep breaths in, but my anatomy just doesn't allow for a lot of airflow through my nose. So I really want to start wearing these for exercise. I know you can get like surgeries and things. I don't know if I want to go that invasive, but what I don't like about, so for sure I can feel the difference of like way more, like my passage is like way more open. And honestly, it's like even with it open, I can't like inhale as deep and as long through my nose as other people, because what I was researching is like those muscles are like weak because I don't use my nose breathing as much. So the more you do like conscious deep breathing, the more you wear these, cover your mouth at night, you'll like strengthen that like system or that muscles or whatever they are, and you'll be able to over time get like a lot longer and a lot deeper inhales. So that is like a major goal of mine. What I hate about these strips though, I don't know if you can see it. Well, actually you can see right here that red mark is actually from, oh my gosh, what is this? Ew, sorry. So this red mark is actually from this strip. And I just feel like we have like a little bit of like thin skin there at the nose, and I just like absolutely hate realizing like I'm peeling off layers of my skin. So what I do is like how this unpeels the back sticker, I leave now this center part of that on, and I'm only peeling off. So like here's the center thing. I leave this pad and I'm only peeling that side and then I peel, you know, that side, and I leave this here so that when I put it on my nose, there's no glue on the center touching because I left this barrier and it's only gluing on the nostrils. So leave that little center part covered if you don't want to rip your skin off.
But I actually am not a fan of this brand.
So I need to like go on a hunt to find like a better one. I hate the tape they use when I peel this off, and maybe it's just mandatory to like actually get your nostrils to hold because it needs to be strong. There's like so much glue and residue, and I'm like rubbing and it feels like it's just clogging my pores with like glue or tape or whatever. So I really don't like that. I did order this one from Amazon where it's like an external thing you like clip onto your nostrils to hold it open, so perhaps that will work. And I tried those inserts. I don't like those cones, but I'm definitely on a hunt. I'm sure they're gonna keep making more products, but I feel like this is like a game changer to have your nasal breathing opened at night and during workouts, and then the mouth tape. So you're getting a lot of that deep breathing, which I think is really good for your restorative sleep. And also, speaking of like the sense of smell and like our nose opening, I also use like a really high quality, this is Plant Therapy. I like that brand. They're kind of spendier. You could just make your own with like a pure high quality lavender essential oil. But this is their lavender essential oil like pillow spray, so I love spraying this. And then the next one, Sight Eyes, is I always have a pillowcase or an eye mask. There's some better ones I found. This was literally like $5 at TJ Maxx. It was just something I had grabbed when I was in LA really quick. But there are definitely a lot nicer ones, and I always look for the ones that have this little padding. I've seen even deeper ones, so like your lashes can go in there without getting slammed. So I really love when they have like this little divot. Again, this is just like not that great of one, but
I think it makes all the difference to have any light blocking, especially because I don't have blackout curtains.
Because when I'm still sleeping and light comes in, for me personally, it wakes me up out of my whatever cycle I'm in. And then also you will find yourself squinting. I saw this in another video where the girl was like, just notice like if you wake up to light or you're trying to go to sleep with night, like realize how much your eyes are like squinting to like try to not let light in. And I was like, that's interesting. So I tested it and I did realize like in the daytime, if I'm laying down, or in the morning when the sun starts to come up, I would kind of squint my eyes. So obviously tension, stress, wrinkles, whatever. So having like a nice mask, and I know this is like as low as they come. There's like so many superior masks to this that like stay on better or better for you, whatever. But just having something to black out your eyes, I think is super important for sleep quality. And then the last thing for touch, the last sense is I use a silky hair bonnet. So I just wrap all my hair up. I don't even always use a hair tie. Sometimes I just go like this, put it on, wrap it up. I also use a sleep pillowcase. So for the touching of my hair, this is just a side bonus. I have like very coarse, frizzy, dry, like 2B, I think they said like 2A, 2B, 2C, something like that hair. And so for me especially, but all hair types, it's best to have like some sort of bonnet and or silk pillowcase. So those are some of my like sleep things. Like I said, sight, taste, touch, smell. Oh, hearing. Yes, that's the last sense. I use earplugs.
Shit, let me go get them. For hearing, this is actually like my number one tip, so I can't believe I almost forgot about it.
This is literally a game changer. I live in an apartment. My boyfriend lives in an apartment, and the sounds of other people, cars, whatever it is, always wakes me up. Whether I'm like conscious of the full wake up, it's like breaking you out of your REM. So I think having earplugs for us has been game changer. Like we used to wake up, our neighbor above him would always be up at like 6 or something, and like he'd get out of bed, start stomping around, and wake us up, and we'd have to try and fall back asleep. Once we started using earplugs, we would never wake up anymore. And these are just some cheap ones we got on Amazon. And what you do, which I did not know, I just went and like shoved it in like that, and I thought that was what you were supposed to do, but no, I did not know that. You actually roll it in your hands and it gets all like teensy and compressed like that. After you like roll it up, it's already starting to expand, the foam. So you roll it up nice and tight, and then you literally, I kind of pull my ears, what we've found, and then you'll find you have to kind of get used to it. Now we can put it in like a pro, but this took so long to get used to, and it's like completely, obviously you don't want to shove it so far you couldn't get it back out. Whoa, and it's just like so far in there, and then once it's in there tight, it starts to expand, and then it like seals off all of the sound. Very easy. But
these are seriously game changer for your sleep routine.
Obviously, another thing I should have said at the beginning, like everyone knows this is just like a no-brainer. I feel like in this wellness age, don't have screens on before bed, don't have a TV in your room if you can help it. Don't be looking at your phone, sleep with your phone in another room if you can. Something I want to do, I don't always do it to be honest, is I want to like put like some like nice like hydrating lotions and like whatever on my hands, and then I have like this nice manicurist brand, like a nail and cuticle oil, or you can just use olive oil, coconut oil, whatever. So I like to like oil up my nail beds at night, put moisturizer on, and then so that you don't have to get out of bed or use like a lamp that can put light into your eyes or whatever. And I just prefer this. I have this little book light thing I got off Amazon. Oh, love this book. Shout out to This Is Maria on YouTube. Anyway, and I will read at night and just have like this, you know, cute little night light, but all the lights are off. And then I actually have just like some cheap blue light blocking magnifying readers that I use to read. And then I just have my nail oil on, a little book light, and then, oh my gosh, I get so tired when I'm watching a show. It's crazy how like we're like these children, like just these zombie brains. Because if I'm watching a show or something on YouTube,
I'm like, I can just like, I want to keep going, I want to keep going. Like you're just stuck in this dopamine loop, like you're this scrambled egg brain.
But when I'm reading, I can just like feel my body like calming down. I just get more tired. I just keep yawning. And then I'm like, dude, I have to put this book down. I need to go to bed. And it's like my decision. Like I want to go to bed. I'm really tired from the reading and the wind down. But yeah, if I try to wind down and go to sleep with an electronic, I'm staying up way later and I'm going to bed with like scrambled egg brains. And depending if I'm like, you know, not getting the best rest, I'll even have some bizarro dreams. So yeah, that is my video on sleep to this point in life. This is everything I know so far.
I also like to sleep on my back. That's something I learned from Dr. Berg.
And then I also like a flatter pillow. I don't like the thick ones because it like puts my neck up. It's uncomfortable, and it like, I feel like it's giving me more of a double chin, especially because I'm looking down at my phone all the time. So when I sleep, I just want to kind of, you know, be back. And I know this isn't just applicable for women that want to have a baby soon, but I'm just talking with my personal experience. I know like in a year or so, we will probably be trying to have a baby, and so I am just soaking up every bit of sleep, every bit of getting to put all this on. I don't give a shit if I sleep 9 hours, 10 hours. Well, I don't know if I've ever slept 10 hours, but I'll sleep 9 hours plus. Like, I don't care. I'm getting all the sleep. I hate alarms. So at this point in my life, when I can just indulge and relish on like going, like throwing down, getting all of these products on, like I literally get into bed and I'm like, yep, hair mask, I'm just doing the most and just conked out and just ready for like minimum my full 8 hours, no alarm, wake up naturally. I am relishing and drooling and like just getting so happy even just thinking about it. Like I love sleep. I know there was like this study that women sleep more and like sleep more, and I'm just obsessed. My partner, he can like survive off of a lot less sleep, and men, they wake up with testosterone and their cortisol like really spiked, so they just like hop out of bed and they're like boom, ready for the day. It's not how it is for me. I really like my sleep, my leisurely mornings, waking up naturally, and like I said, just relishing and cherishing these moments in life, because when you have kids, I'm assuming that that is not going to be your life story anymore. Probably can't have earphones in, you know, you need to hear the baby and stuff. So girl, soak it up while you can, or in whatever category this applies to your life. Maybe, you know, you're a college student and you have classes later in the day this quarter, or whatever it is. Like, sleep in naturally, do all the shebang, and like just relish in nourishing and restoring your body. And then also like to take it all, you know, next level dimension, because that's just me. When you have this deep rest and your body's rested and renewed, that's when you really get to have those like astral projections, those dreams with messages. You can really hear your guides. It's just a whole other level. When my sleep is like alcohol, weed, poor sleep, going to bed late, not getting a lot of sleep, I had no dreams, or just very like surface level dreams where I'm just kind of processing, you know, just surface level things that happen in the day. But once I cut out like the weed, the alcohol, and like have a really deep regular sleep schedule, I'm just constantly astral projecting, channeling messages, like all of the things, from being able to like really restore and like go to those other places and be able to channel and feel and like wake up really nourished and remembering my dreams and able to process it, talk to my guides about them. So I feel like sleep is just like a huge part of my life in so many ways. So hopefully this was helpful.